So today we're doing some Batman miniature game. More specifically, we're just looking up something that's just popped up on the website. And that's some updates to the Riddler. The long-awaited Riddler update, which is excellent. So let's have a look at them. So please forgive the printouts, but at the moment they're all online and available for viewing. The updated compendium, which has the updates to the Riddler's abilities in line with the cards. So the first one we're looking at, a challenge for you. Okay, so it's important to know that a numeric counter is going on the suspect that gets placed by anyone in your crew, which is interesting. So Puzzle Master hasn't changed from the update. Still place 2 suspect markers but within 6 inches instead of contact. And Quizmaster hasn't changed. So when you score an objective, with multiple cards you can search for the other card and put that in your hand. And the Wizard of Quiz. So when you place a suspect within 8 inches of an enemy model, if that enemy model can see both the model, so both the Riddler and the suspect, then you can look at the top 2 cards on that model's objective deck. Discard one and make sure the other one's the next one to be in play. Okay, so let's start scanning through some of these cards. 2 points, 3 cards available in the deck. Can be played during a friendly model's activation, and if at the end of the next enemy model activation you have at least one of every numeric counter on a friendly suspect, you score this card. As a resource, if an enemy model reveals a friendly suspect, after the action ends, reduce or increase the value of a numeric counter on a friendly suspect by 1. And so on. So pretty much all of the objective cards work in a similar sort of way. You've got the standards, like reveals fewer suspects than you. Here's a good one for the resources. Reduce the number of damage markers inflicted by an attack equal to the number of friendly suspects within 8 inches of the target model. So that's nice, especially when you've got the Riddler dropping 2 markers within 6 inches. Move 2 friendly suspect markers within 6 inches of the same enemy model. Suspicious. Good old Riddler. And so on. You've got all the cards here. And we're flipping in a moment. So again, I printed this out. So I'll get, hopefully when the cards arrive in this country. Otherwise I'll have to get them formally printed. Good thing I know people. Let me place 1 riddle marker into the game area. You also have riddle markers. We'll explain that in a few moments. But it's interesting how the riddle markers work. So the victory points are at least 3 friendly suspects with an even numeric, 3 suspects with an odd. Place this card face down, and there's a few of these where the cards are placed face down so your opponent doesn't know what you're playing, but you can only have 1 card as face down. And then if the suspect that's been revealed by an enemy model has got various conditions on it, you score the points. Moving markers, so they're within range of people. Perfectly Riddler. And at the bottom of every card is a little Riddler. Little riddle. And each of the main characters. So this is all related to the battle box. So Kel, Echo and Query, they have their own cards. The Riddler has 2. Riddles everywhere! place this card face down. If an enemy model reveals one of your suspects and you have at least 2 riddle markers in play, score the card. And for 2 resource points, you may place up to 3 riddle markers into the gaming area within 8 inches of a friendly with Edward Nigma. Friendly model named Edward Nigma. There you go. Echo and Query both give each other free buffs, free effort. And so on. So they're good. So yes, we've finally got some cards out for the Riddler. And they're all sort of quite themey as well, putting suspect markers out there and turning suspects into objects that the opponents both want to avoid as well as placing them. You have a couple of other that conditions put on the suspect markers. Works out really well. Can't wait to try it. I think it's going to work well with the plot cards. I'm getting into the plot cards. This is the Riddler crew is a crew that is going to win by points. You're going to just accumulate points. And that's a good thing. So once per round you may increase or decrease a numeric counter in play. So once you've set your counters, then they're set, unless you can use an ability to toggle the number. But aside from that, it's pretty cool. Bait and switch once per game. So if you get to complete an objective, complete a menace objective, and then at the end of a round, no enemy suspects are inside or within 4 minutes of an enemy deployment zone, boom, 4 inches. Then once per game, when they place a suspect marker, it becomes yours. They're placing your suspect marker. Once per round, you can remove a friendly suspect within 4 inches of a friendly model to reduce the damage suffered by 2. There you go, that's cool. So yes, they're very good. So the astute of you who are looking at this going, well, hang on, if every time they have to reveal a friendly suspect marker, all that they have to do is not reveal one, right? Because ultimately they get points for, the Riddler's crew gets points for the opponents revealing any markers. Well, I give you the riddle marker. So riddle markers can be placed. You can have up to 3 in play. And when an enemy model within 8 inches of a riddle marker performs the manipulate action, so that's even dropping their own, you must remove a friendly suspect marker chosen by the opponent. It counts as revealed by an enemy model. Then remove that riddle marker. You cannot have more than 3 riddle markers in play. So there you go. So, if you've got the right cards in play, you can make all the riddle markers, all the suspect markers, values of 1 to 3. Then drop down a few riddle markers. Then when the opponent does a manipulate within range, any manipulate action, so that would also include sewers, then they have to reveal a suspect marker, which gives you points, and then you can fish through your deck to pull out another one, and so on. And you'll have 2 riddles in play, which gives you which could potentially give you another few points for the Riddler. See, this is what I mean. The Riddler is just going to be accumulating points left, right, and center. I think an early alpha strike is going to be required by the opponents. However, one of the special abilities of the Riddler, I believe, is to drop a couple of suspect markers before play starts, which is awesome. I'm so looking forward to trialing this. So this is on the website at the moment, all of these. There's new updates, and it looks like that we should be getting some cards hopefully soon with the new updated box for the bat box. That's nice. And these might be some beta rules. They may not be official, but it's a start. I'm happy to give it a crack. So this is not quite an unboxing of the Riddler kit, because obviously there are no boxes, but it's all available on the website. Have a look, download them, read through them. The text is a tad chunky, as you can imagine, because it seems a little bit beta. But once you get past that and you start reading through some of the instructions, you go, okay, they all start to work together. At first you sort of think, well, can only be played during a friendly model's activation, and if the next enemy model activation has at least one of every, you score this card. I don't understand what I'm doing. What? But then it makes sense, because every time you're dropping a suspect marker, you're putting down a different numeric value of your choice. So every even, every odd, and then you have got some abilities to switch the numbers up and change the numbers, and so on. So yes, and the ability to go through, if you've played 2 resource cards, you can, or played resource cards, you can bring them back as objectives. So you're encouraged to spend the resource points, which are, some of them are cool. Some of them are like, I'm going to reduce damage being taken. Because the first thing that the opponents are going to want to do is take out the Riddler. Anyway, so have a look. We'll be getting the Riddler crew up and running and get them out there. My favourite crew. Fantastic. What has a head, a tail, is brown, and has no legs? I know, do you? Alright, let's go Riddler. Alright, thank you very much for watching this very brief and shoddily put together, but as soon as I saw it, I had to shove it all together. Had to be done. It's great work. Alright, thank you, and stay safe, and keep the faith. Hopefully Mr. Freeze is coming up. Yep, I said it. I'm hoping Mr. Freeze is still coming. Alright, it's a freeze. But that's alright, the Riddler is cool. And we have all of their cards here. Thanks guys. Appreciate everyone having a look. Alright.